when one buys utensils, he must take them to the mikveh for dipping. And the difference between metal utensils and glass utensils is that by metal utensils, the Torah says one needs to take them, because the Torah speaks about elements that are metal. And the glass, the Torah didn't mention, but it's still required midirabanan. Chachamim said because it's similar to metal in that aspect that if it breaks, you could fix it. And therefore, glass, Chachamim required to take to the mikveh before using. And you're not even allowed to use it temporarily, and not even one time before dipping it in the mikveh. Therefore, when a person takes the glass as well, just like the metal, he would make a bracha before dipping it. Although it's only the Rabbanan, the requirement of the bracha still applies. What would be the din by porcelain, China dishes? Do we have to take them to the mikveh as well? The answer is that the Pitrei Tshuva brings the She'elat Yavetz and says, כלים הבאים ממדינת הים שנקראים porcelain ודומים לכלי זכוכית, אין צריכים טבילה. Those porcelain, they're made out of clay, and he explains, לפי שידוע שעשויים מן החול ומן האדמה. Just like clay is not made from glass, it's just made out of sand, and therefore same thing over here. When you have those porcelain, they're made from the same thing. He says min ha'adama, min ha'chol, and therefore such a thing is not required tvila. What are you going to say? That maybe it's like a glass? It says over here that it's not like glass, because if a glass breaks, we said you could fix it. יש להם תקנה להתיחם. דמשום אחי כלי מתכות, ככלי מתכות שווינו. But over here, hani let lo takanta. Those porcelain, once they break, you can't fix them anymore, and therefore they don't require tefillah. This is how the She'elat Yavetz says. But some poskim say that one should take them to the mikveh, but without bracha, like the Ben Ish Chai, for instance. He says to take them to the mikveh without a bracha. The Aruch HaShulchan explains why. Because sometimes there's a very thin layer on top of that porcelain that's made out of glass. And glass, we said already, that requires tefillah. And although most of the China utensils don't have that, but in order not to differentiate and separate between one and the other, all of them should go to the mikveh, because then you might not take those that are covered with glass. This is how the Aruch HaShulchan explains it. That's why he says also you should take them and dip them without a bracha. But most of the poskim hold that it doesn't require, and the Chida brings the minhag is not to dip such a thing. Chacham Ovadia says the minhag is not to dip China, and this is how Moshe Feinstein holds as well. And therefore, if a person doesn't want to dip them, it's absolutely fine. If one goes to the mikveh anyway to take something to the mikveh, so the best thing is if we could take them together with him. This way, he gains everything that we spoke about over here.